and subscribed?
Yes.
Search that other line.
Welcome to the Pacific Northwest Trail. My return to the end. Nothing particularly technical about a hike out. It's just not even a mile till you get to the beach. I didn't check the tide charts, so there's just one part that could be questionable depending on where high tide is. I have no idea, but hey, whatever. Yeah, I didn't even particularly plan out my gear very much. Just some other filming equipment and threw some clothes in my pack, which is still riding nice, and hit the road. It's not supposed to really start raining until this evening, I think around 7. It's perfect. So, I mean, I'm gonna try to start a fire. I bought some fire starters. But we'll see. I don't know, just a nice chance to relax and reflect on past year's adventure and bring in the new year. And in general, it's just nice to be out in the woods or on the beach. Hopefully I don't have any bear issues. I don't think I will, but the Olympic Park on the coast was the only place that I saw bears on my PNT hike, which is pretty incredible. But it was 2 bears on the last day, so I think it'll be fine. Doesn't look like there's anybody else out here either. Just the way I like it, all to myself. That's a whale carcass. Wow. See the fins? Huh. I've decided to scratch my original campsite and head back. Getting a little too wild with the waves, and I can't make it across the point without, taking a pretty big risk, which I don't want to do. So, and I kind of wanted to relax. Right now, there's no relaxing. PNT, never a dull moment. probably would have been fine if I would have waited 45 minutes or so to cross those waves. You know, I just stumbled into bad timing. I didn't pay attention to the tide charts, and you know, I got in a situation where I couldn't go any further without getting really, really wet, which I didn't want to do because I'm supposed to be just a relaxing night on the beach in a place that I love. But I did find a nice little campsite. It's close to the whale carcass, so, but it doesn't smell. There was a whole section along the beach that looked like it was a massive landslide recently, and it felt like the whole thing was just gonna keep sliding on down into the water, and it was just this thick mud. Some of it actually looked like rock, but then it was like a clayish kind of texture. So it was kind of dicey, and I don't want to put myself in those kinds of situations. I don't know, I feel that with all the hiking that I've done, I've gotten pretty lucky with not, for the most part, putting myself into danger. There's an inherent danger to, you know, doing a through hike, or, you know, just going out in the woods in general, but, you know, there's an inherent danger of just living, you know, living life. But, you know, I always try to be as risk adverse as possible so that I can continue to do the things that I want to be able to do in the future. It was interesting when I was trying to debate with myself whether I should push through the waves. I was just thinking that being out here, there are so many things that can, and this is gonna sound a little morbid, but just kill you like that. You know, you make one bad decision and, you know, you slip, you fall, hit your head on the rock. You know, bad things can happen. But that is part of the fun, the challenge, the fun. You know, the extreme part that I like is that, you know, to be aware of these things and really push yourself up to that limit. You know, I think on the AT, I did that a lot, especially in the winter parts. Definitely, you know, I felt, especially when I was going over like Roan Highlands, you go back to like those episodes on Roan Mountain, in the kind of winter conditions that I went over it, like I was always comfortable, I was warm, I was, you know, I felt good, but I also knew that I was just on the edge of something bad happened. So in my head, I would constantly think like, okay, what would happen if this happened? How would I survive? How would I make this work? So always, you know, having a backup plan. And, you know, like today, my backup plan is to just not push through, is to actually pull back and find a different place to camp. It's still the beach, it's still beautiful, ocean in the background, just really awesome. But, you know, like everywhere on the PCT, I knew where my ins and outs were if something bad happened. And, you know, the only time that I didn't come up with an exit strategy was when I got in trouble, you know, having to call SARS on Mount Carlos, just into Maine. So, you know, I try not to put myself in situations that are dangerous, but it is an inherent part of this kind of adventuring. And in the future, I hope to be more comfortable with some of the things, because there's activities that I would like to do. Now that I'm living in Seattle, it's such easy access to some really awesome adventures. So, but here I am after a year of hiking, just loving it still.